You've probably come across people like this. Yep, it's getting dangerous on the roads.
Hi, can I help you cross the road? No, so you can use your phone and not get knocked down at the same time, you know. Just making sure. Okay. Just gotta be careful in case you knock into something. Come, sir, let me help you. Keep you safe because you're using your phone while crossing the road. So let me just. Otherwise, it's a bit dangerous. Okay.
I'm not talking about the vehicles.
Come, guys, let me help you cross the road.
I'm talking about the danger distracted walkers pose.
Essentially, people with their faces buried in their phones. Oh, there you go. Do you need some help crossing the road? Okay. Yes. So we often hear about the dangers of texting while driving, but what about texting as we walk? In this episode of Talking Point, I want to find out just what happens when we use our phones while walking.
But first, a little game.
With the help of this remote control car, which I imagine would be pretty hard to miss with it zooming around you.
But maybe not when you're engrossed in your mobile phone.
Did you notice that there was a blue remote control car moving around? Yeah.
Nope, not really.
Okay. Are you worried that because you were so engrossed with your phone that you actually missed that?
Yeah, maybe.
You think that's dangerous?
A bit.
I just asked you if you noticed the remote control car.
Yeah, I saw it.
You saw it, but like in the corner of your eye, is it?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, I noticed it just now. I was like walking and then I was like, eh?
No, not the car.
Didn't notice too much.
So Jeta, did you notice there was a blue remote control car going around?
Not really.
Okay, that's right behind you, right here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Do you often use your phone when you're walking?
Yeah, to be honest, yes.
And what are you looking at?
Social media like Instagram, TikTok, and stuff like that.
Text message.
Games.
Oh, playing a game.
Yeah, playing games.
Playing games?
Yeah.
It's so important to play the game that you have to do it while walking. Is it?
I think because it's just like pastime while walking to my place.
It's not say urgent. It's just that sometimes you just feel so bored with like stuff around you, so it just becomes a natural like instinct. You know, you just take out your phone and just do this.
Do you feel that they are so urgent that they need to be done straight away?
Yes. Because the clients are very sensitive. They want an immediate answer.
I think the times have changed. Everybody's expected to be real time, available all the time.
What are you looking at?
Messages, checking where to go.
Where to go? Okay,
Yeah.
looking for directions. But do you like play games or do you watch videos?
Oh, no, I don't dare. I feel like if I get too absorbed into it, I will like crash into someone.
Oh, have you ever done that?
I crash into things when I'm not looking at my phone.
What you saw was just a simulation. Imagine if it was a real car. Take a look at these videos. And just last year, a man died while crossing a junction because his eyes were glued to his phone instead of the road.
So it's really a no-brainer. When we're using our mobile phones, we're definitely less aware of our surroundings. But that's not all that handheld device does.
This is Nav Vij. He's a neuroscientist. In short, he studies your brain and how it affects your behavior. And this is Dr. Prem Pillai. He does brain surgery. They've both designed our next experiment.
So we have a playground set up for you today.
Okay.
So what you're going to do is we're going to have you walk through this obstacle. Okay, and you're going to do it 4 times. And every time we're going to introduce something else to distract you.
Right.
And then we're going to see how you do. We're going to look at your gait, how you walk.
Okay.
We're going to look at how your ability to focus, how distracted you are.
Right.
And then we're going to see how it is at the end of it.
Okay, sure, no problem. I bought my walking shoes, so let's
Wonderful.
go.
Let's get started.
To make it as realistic as possible, we're going to throw in some pedestrians. So first, I will walk from one point to the other without distractions. The team will keep track of how long I take to complete a round of this route for each task.
Okay. And we're done. We're going to have you use social media. So look at Instagram or look at your Facebook feed, and you're going to try to navigate the obstacle again, there and back. But we're going to change the group of pedestrians that we have. We're going to have 4 new pedestrians.
Oh, why?
I do not want you to be too familiar with the pedestrians before. You might have memorized how they walk. So we're going to make it a bit more challenging.
Okay.
Come on, guys.
Let's see.
Well done. Now we're going to add something new. We're going to have you watch a video.
Okay.
We're going to have you text while you walk this obstacle.
Okay. I definitely was slower.
Did you feel a bit confused where the left turn was, where the right turn was?
Yeah, sometimes I had to look up and go, oh, I'm at the end of the road already.
Exactly.
Walking distracted sure slowed me down. I was up to 20% slower compared to walking undistracted. Texting was the worst distraction.
So why does distracted walking affect my actual walking timing so much?
One of the main things that happens is your gait, which
Okay.
means the way you walk, the style of your walking. Normally, if we are carefree, we're not distracted by our
Right.
phones, we'd walk like this.
All right.
It's a normal walk. We're looking up, we're aware of our surroundings. But the moment we're distracted, we're holding our phone, our vision gets narrow. What your brain does to compensate for that, it shortens your steps. So now you're going to take smaller steps. Other people get affected as well, Steve. So people behind you will start to form a line because they'll be, Steve's in front of us and it's going really slow.
Okay.
It's
I
taking
slowed down
tiny
the
steps.
whole,
You slowed down
cause
the
a
whole
traffic
line.
jam.
Absolutely, that's what it is. Also, it has a long-term impact as well. There's a new term, Steve, it's called text neck. It literally means the effect on the neck because you're texting.
Wow.
And imagine if you're doing it walking, because your posture changes.
Yes.
It affects the neck. In fact, some studies say that it increases 42% of your neck muscle activation. So this can cause you neck pain, sometimes headaches, and it affects accessory muscles like your shoulder muscles as well. The most important thing it affects as well, Steve, is balance.
Balance.
It affects balance because it affects posture, because
Okay.
of your neck and the way you're standing and walking.
Yes.
So some studies have shown that eventually, over long periods of time, your balance will be reshifted, and that's not a very good outcome for you.
Because it could increase your risk of falling. I thought I was done. But now I've had one more thing up his sleeves.
You're going to complete this series of neuroscience-based puzzles, and we're going to look at your interaction of these puzzles and assess how well your brain is functioning. Oops. Okay, well done, Steve. So we have one last thing to do. You're going to complete this series of neuroscience-based puzzles, and we're going to look at your interaction of these puzzles and assess how well your brain is functioning.
Okay.
We're actually peeking into your brain if you were distracted, walking in the streets, in the public.
Well, now it gets tougher. I need to solve some puzzles while walking. But this time, I will walk this route as long as it takes me to complete the brain teasers.
Remember the blinking tiles? No way. Ooh, wow. 5, 6, 7. I missed some. Just one question. Oops. Matches with the position of the word displayed. I'm only at question 3.
We're going to keep going. 7 to go, Steve.
Oh my gosh. Select only the words you've seen earlier. Question number 6. Connect the alphabets. Question 7. Almost there. Okay, I'm done.
It took me more than 15 minutes to complete the brain function tests. I was also asked to take the brain function test on another day, when I'm completely relaxed and undistracted. So that's exactly what I'm doing today. Undistracted, I completed the puzzle in about 12 minutes, a good 3 minutes faster compared to when I last did it. Neurosurgeon Dr. Prem Pillai, who had a hand in planning the experiment, is analyzing the results.
So let me show you your scores.
Wow, okay, there's a lot of red on this one. This is the one with me distracted.
This is the one with you distracted and walking.
Yeah.
There's a big drop off in your brain function. Your brain scores, your overall score was low, your attention was really low, and even your working memory was really low.
Okay, compared to this was I just did it the other day. I had no other distraction.
And you were perfect. You were really high scores.
Okay.
Including your attention. Everything was really, really good. But the minute you started being distracted, your brain performance really dropped a lot.
So overall brain score was 77, I imagine, out of 100.
The max can go up to 130.
Oh yeah,
or more,
okay,
right?
okay.
This is really low. In fact, it's a dangerously low category. Very likely, if you're doing something dangerous like walking across a road with busy traffic, that you might have an accident.
Wow, okay,
Right?
okay.
But
Because
stumble-
my attention is so low.
It's so low.
Wow.
And then, of course, you're walking. You're using a motor cortex. But if you're texting, you're also using your motor cortex and loading it
Right.
with your text inputs, and you're walking with your legs. So that's a lot of load on the motor cortex. So in multitasking, we use many parts of the brain together, right? And that means there's an overloading. We call it cognitive loading of brain function. And your brain only has a certain amount of capacity. As we start overloading it, and the capacity goes down, the results you get also will go down. And we clearly see this in your brain tests. Your brain does not have infinite capacity.
What about age? A lot of young people feel that they're better at multitasking.
Age is not the important factor. The important factor is how much information is coming in and how much your brain is getting overloaded.
So they may have a false sense that they are better able to multitask.
They are able to multitask.
When in reality it's not true.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Who would have thought our brains are not built to multitask? No wonder we can get into accidents while distracted walking. Can we do anything about this? Well, we've definitely tried. Back in 2017, 4 junctions in different parts of the island had their floors embedded with flashing lights. The lights reflect the color of the traffic light, so if it's green, the light on the floor will turn green. The purpose? Even when your eyes are glued to your phones and not the traffic light, you'll know what to do. But according to the Land Transport Authority, it didn't quite work. And the moment they reached the end of their lifespan, these LED lights were removed. Then in 2019, bright yellow stickers were placed at the junction around Ang Mo Kio MRT, imploring pedestrians to look up. The stickers are no longer there.
Nikki, hello. Hello. How are you? No, you were MP for this area for quite a few years, and one of the initiatives that you were helping out with was this whole look up campaign, right? To get people to look up at I guess, dangerous areas.
Yep.
Yeah, what happened to it? It looks like it's kind of a bit faded away.
Well, when it first started, it was a pilot test with LPA to improve pedestrian awareness of probable things like bicycle coming across, drivers not paying attention, just to heighten their awareness.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, with all this construction, they probably will take some time to evaluate how the entire signage will look like.
Would you say this campaign worked? How did people respond to it?
Well, when we first rolled it out together, you got people who look bemused, say that this is common sense, why must you remind me? There are those who look slightly embarrassed because actually they were distracted. And yet there are those who say that, okay, thank you, it looks like a good effort.
So, was this area also selected? This was the first one to trial this, right?
Yep.
Because there were accidents happening here or...
There were near misses happening here.
Yeah. Overall, would you say it cut down on the number of accidents or people bumping into things?
Educationally, yes, it does create the awareness, and the feedback was that yes, it does remind me. Now, over time, whether does it just become a feature on the ground that people don't quite pay attention?
You stop looking because it's always been there, right? After a while, you forget about it.
So there may be some level of fatigue when you plaster a lot of things on the ground. It must be selective, so you will have to find places where there is heavy footfall and there are mixed use of cyclists, pedestrians, whereby their chances of collision are higher. Then it's probably feasible to create the awareness. But if you just plaster it island-wide, there will be a level of fatigue and you're actually not utilizing resources.
Okay.
Responding to queries from Talking Point, the Land Transport Authority says the look-up stickers were placed as part of a 2-year community road safety campaign. The stickers were removed as the campaign had ended. Other cities have even tried to separate distracted walkers from other pedestrians. A shopping mall in northwest China has done it, setting up a dedicated lane for pedestrians glued to their mobile phones. So too Manchester in the UK, where a slow lane for texting pedestrians was trialled to highlight our obsession with our phones. Temporary lanes for distracted walkers were also trialled in Washington. But nothing seems to have worked in really changing behavior. Do we need to take a harder stance on distracted walkers?
Some countries, they've imposed fines on people. Would that work in a place like Singapore?
Some countries have imposed fines on distracted walking, which means using devices like phones and tablets while walking. From $45 in Baguio, Philippines, to US $15 enacted in Honolulu, a city in Hawaii in 2017. But are these fines really the solution? Cecilia Rojas was one of the researchers involved in the Lookup campaign in Ang Mo Kio back in 2019. That's where stickers were placed on the ground at a busy junction in the neighborhood.
Some countries, they've even said they will impose fines on people who are caught doing that. Would that work in a place like Singapore?
It's very hard to draw the line on what is considered distracted walking. How long should we be looking at our phone for us to be distracted? Even these countries that you mentioned, they are going back and reviewing these penalties or fines to come up with other solutions to encourage people to have this right behavior.
The city of Baguio in the Philippines has since dropped the fines in favor of community work.
So trying to enforce it would be a problem too. I mean, how are you going to catch everyone who's using their phone, right?
Yes, it would be very, very hard to enforce. There are many of us using our phone on a regular basis while walking, getting distracted. We'll need a lot of manpower, the policing people that will have to be around.
What if we tried putting cameras, a bit like speed cameras, use that to catch people on their phones?
There could be an issue about privacy as well. It's like, how do we know who is who in order to send the fine to them?
Okay.
So yeah, that could be challenging. My point of view, the most important thing would be about education.
Okay.
Encourage people to do the right thing and be focused when you're walking. Be very conscious on their own actions when we're walking on the street and how our actions can actually affect others.
Okay.
A 2015 study which covered about 420 youth showed that 93% admitted to multitasking, such as being on their phone while walking. This is despite 84% acknowledging that it's dangerous to do so. Since that survey 9 years ago, there's been no official study on this recently in Singapore. Having seen for myself how dangerous distracted walking is, I want to know how prevalent it is in Singapore now. So I've decided to conduct my own observation. I've enlisted the help of 5 team members and deployed them to some of Singapore's busiest intersections: Bugis, Toa Payoh, Tampines, Ang Mo Kio, and Orchard. My surveyors will be tracking the number of people seen crossing these intersections while using their phones for 30 minutes during a busy weekday lunchtime period.
Okay, so that's... So out of the 1,977 people we counted, about 30% were glued to their phones while crossing those 5 junctions. Now, fortunately, there were no mishaps. 30%, that's fortunately not a very high number, but that's only looking at traffic junctions. We didn't count other spaces like, the sidewalk, inside the mall, on the escalator and elevators, all these other places where distracted walking is all around us. Because no one's really checking, right? So we're thinking, maybe we should. So, if you have a video of people distracted walking, you know what? Send it to us at this email address. And in fact, if you have a solution to this problem too, we also want to hear from you.